Hey guys, it's CrashGal. I'm here at Cultura Coffee having some amazing coffee. It's the cutest little coffee shop. Come check it out if you haven't. But we are here today with Lyanna Lynette to talk about body positivity, body image, self-esteem. So stay tuned. Welcome to the first episode of Coffee with CrashGal. I am here with the beautiful Lyanna Lynette. She is a community leader, she is a model, she is an influencer, she is a makeup artist. She is somebody who I admire in the community very much. And so I wanted to sit down and talk to her and get down to the nitty-gritty of what she deals with and what she lives with on a day-to-day basis. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Go ahead, Lyanna.
Hi guys, my name is Lyanna Lynette. I'm from Harlingen, Texas. I'm a mom of...
Oh, we went to high school together.
We did.
I forgot to mention that.
2008.
Class of 2008, woo!
Lame.
Okay.
I'm a mom of two. I am engaged and I'm a makeup artist and a plus size model.
Let's talk about body positivity, right? I'm sure that throughout your life, as with all women, we struggle with our body image, with societal expectations of beauty. Tell me about a time when you felt super down, you felt like, I'm not beautiful, like mean comments, bullying, things where you felt really bad about yourself.
So for me, I think bullying kind of started really young. It started when I was in private school. I went to Calvary Christian School, and it started there when I was about in 4th or 5th grade. Kids are just mean, and they hear things either from movies or they hear their parents talk or family members or other kids or whatnot. And I feel like when somebody gets upset, they can just throw words at you and it's no big deal. Well, over time, those words end up staying with us and we remember things. So then middle school comes, high school comes.
Well, what would they say? Like examples, like what would they say to you?
They would just say that I was ugly or, she's overweight and I mean, I wasn't, the only one, obviously.
Right.
There were other kids, but I just felt sometimes like they kind of targeted me. And when you're that young and you don't see anybody in magazines that look like you don't see people on TV who, have the same body type as you, even when you're little, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we go to stores with our parents when we're young and we see magazines on the shelf and when I was little I always wondered, well, why don't I see anybody that looks like me, or why don't I see somebody that looks like my mom, or things like that. I went through a hard time maybe like 10 years ago or so, 9 years ago, and I was my heaviest weight that I had ever been, and I was like, you know what, I'm not comfortable. Like, I want to be able to put on clothes, even though our size doesn't define our beauty.
Right.
I just personally wanted to feel better about myself. So I lost 80 pounds all by myself.
How did you do that?
Diet and exercise. This was before the babies, before I was dating anybody. I would go to the gym sometimes twice a day. And I was just tired of feeding my body all of this bad food. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start taking care of myself.
Wow, over 8 months?
Yeah, it was 8 months.
Tell us about Torrid. How old were you? How did you become a model for Torrid? Tell us that story.
In 2015, I was working at a local salon in Edinburgh, and modeling was always something that I wanted to do. Like, I knew that if I would just put my mind to it and I really wanted to do something, I could possibly make it happen. So my sister reached out to me and she's like, hey, there's this brand, I think you know of them, they're called Torrid. They're having a nationwide model search and I think you should enter. I flew to Dallas and we went to the model search the next day. It was a lot of fun. I saw so many plus size women, so many beautiful women. It was so empowering just to see everybody together that kind of wanted the same thing. We all wanted to win this huge model search that had never been done before. First ever that Torrid.
First ever.
Yeah. Went through with it, did my interview, and I just explained myself. I told my story, kind of like what we're doing now, and why I thought that I would fit the brand so well. So I ended up flying home. I had a great interview. I went back to work at the salon that I was working at. I would say about 2.5 months later, I got a phone call. And I was like, like, who's this number?
2.5 months later?
Yeah.
That much longer?
Yeah.
Wow.
So 2.5 months later, and they said, you were chosen for the top 10.
Top 10 out of how many? Like thousands?
15,000 women.
15,000 women. You, this girl from the Valley, working at a salon in Edinburgh, and you're like, wow, I'm in the top 10.
Yeah,
Out of
so
15,000, okay.
yeah, so by that I mean I was pretty stoked. About a week later, I got a phone call saying, "Congratulations, you made top 4. Since you did sign a contract, you are gonna have to fly back. You know, we'll fly you back. We'll pay for everything, and you're gonna be here for about 10 to 12 days. We're gonna be filming like a model boot camp type of thing." I quit my job here. They didn't want to let me go. I said, "Screw you! I'm freaking going. I am not gonna stay."
No way.
So the final day came, you know, we went to headquarters and they had this huge like party waiting to announce who the winner was. And it was me and 4 other girls. I was super nervous, and honestly, like, I didn't think I was gonna win.
I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah. And the time came when they dropped the curtain on this big poster and it had my face, and I felt like I won.
It had
like,
your face.
Yeah,
Oh my
like just a
God.
huge picture of me that we shot on Malibu Beach, and I feel like I had won like Miss America. Like balloons came down from the ceiling, like champagne popped, like everything was just so surreal, you know. So somebody from the Valley won this huge contract, beat 15,000 women, like out of a basically like a model beauty contest.
Yeah.
But just for the plus size industry, and for me, like that was just. It was like the happiest day like that I had ever had.
A dream come true.
Yeah, like all the bullying, all the negative comments, like all the bad relationships that I was in, like now it's like, wow, like I hit something so big. And from there it just took off. I did tours around the US. I had 5 meet and greets in different states. Wow. I went to Seattle, I went to Washington, I went to Florida, like I went everywhere, and it was.
And that's when your modeling career
That's when it just took off.
took off. And I'm sure that it's like the experience of a lifetime that you'll never forget, right?
Never.
Like, so I want to get like down and dirty, nitty gritty. Like, you have this huge following on Instagram. You must get some really weird messages, comments. I mean, who knows? Tell us a little bit about. She's like, let me take a drink.
Do y'all have some vodka?
She's gonna need a stiff drink.
She's gonna need a little shot.
Tell us like the weird things that you get.
I mean, for me, it's no secret. For, you know, my fiance, it's no secret. Sometimes we laugh about it, or he's like, nah, whatever. But, you know, there's just a lot of weirdos, you know.
On the internet, yeah.
There's a lot in the Valley, too. And sorry, guys. I don't know, just like some people message me and they're like, hey, like I'll pay for pictures of like your feet, or just like weird things. Like I get a lot of images and it says like tap to unblur, and I'm like, no, delete.
No.
And yeah, so it's just like, I mean, some messages that you think like we wouldn't get, like I've gotten. Let me see your feet, or like can you eat this and film yourself? Or yeah, like can you just like send me a voice audio saying my name? Yeah, like all these weird things, right?
God, that's crazy. So you have to sift through these weird messages, through your message requests, because you're a makeup artist. You have to, potential clients, I'm sure, are messaging you all the time. So you have to sift through all of this stuff.
I've come across a lot of women that have messaged me personally, or when I meet them in public, you know, sometimes, you know, pre-COVID, they would see me out. Oh my God, like you're Lyanna Lynette. Can I take a picture with you? For me, that's weird because I live in the Valley and like we're just another person.
But you're not. You are an influencer.
I am. I am. I never saw myself. I've been called like a celebrity. I've never felt like a celebrity. I just happened to be blessed with a job that I had for 2 years. Because for 2 years, I was flying out every 2 weeks to LA.
Wow.
And it was just the best. If I could relive those 2 years, like I totally would. Like I would just soak it all in all over again.
That is amazing. But no, I think that a lot of young girls, not even necessarily young, you know, women our age and older, see you as like a beacon of hope. You know what I mean? She owns it. She doesn't care what society says, you know, what size we should be. She's like, she's out here owning it. She's confident. People see that as like, you know, something to look up to. So What do you have to say to those women and girls who are currently struggling with their body image, feeling down on themselves, looking like at Instagram, being like, why don't I look like that girl? You know what I mean? What's your advice for them?
Just appreciate and love your body, no matter where you're at in your journey. And if you're just starting, it takes time. We don't gain weight overnight, just like we're not going to lose weight overnight. It takes time to gain weight, just like it takes time to lose weight. And I just feel like if we're not going to love ourselves, if we're not going to appreciate our bodies, if we're not going to feel like we're beautiful or confident, then, we shouldn't depend on somebody else to tell us that. It has to come from within, because if you're waiting for people to always compliment you and
Validation.
then it's not genuine, and you're never going to actually feel beautiful.
Right. Do you ever compare yourself to other women that you see? I'm sure you are friends with a lot of people on Instagram that you follow. You see their photos. Do you ever compare yourself and think like, I wish I looked like that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like what woman doesn't? You know what I mean? I think even the women or the models or the plus size models or straight size models that we kind of look up to, where we're like, oh, like I wish my stomach looked like that, or I wish I had a tummy tuck, or I wish I had like a Brazilian butt lift or bigger boobs. Like, I have friends who are plus size models, who are celebrity plus size models that I've worked with over the years, and you'd be so surprised with how they view their body sometimes. So like we might admire somebody else, but then at the same time they're admiring somebody else.
Right. So it's just this cycle. So just love yourself, because you can appreciate another woman's beauty and still feel like you're beautiful too.
When you're a plus size woman or you're a straight woman or whatever, plus size doesn't mean you're unhealthy, and straight size doesn't mean you're healthy.
Correct.
Okay, because I've had so many people who are not plus size, who are not overweight, and they are some of the unhealthiest people that I've known.
Right.
So I think when you see a plus size woman, you shouldn't think that she's automatically unhealthy. Just like when you see a skinny person, you know what I mean? Like it's just, oh, she's skinny, she's fine, there's nothing wrong with her. Oh, she's fat, she's sick, she's gonna die. Like, I think when people look at you like that, like it's just,
there's this misconception that thin people are healthy and more successful, and larger people are unhealthy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're right. Our bodies are made differently. Our appearance says nothing about our internal health. So, I think that's a big misconception, and I'm glad that you are fighting against that misconception with your platform. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, Lyanna. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like I learned so much from you, and I'm just in awe of everything you've done. I know that you are an amazing makeup artist. You've done my makeup. I can attest to the fact that she is great. You model for Millie's. You're brand ambassador for different businesses. So tell us where we can find you on social media.
I like to use my Instagram more for influencing and personal pictures and stuff. But you can find me at Lyanna Lynette.
Definitely hit her up if you need your makeup done. She's amazing. She's done mine for photo shoots.
Or if you guys have questions, if you have a body positivity issue, or just a question in general, like where can you find plus size clothes, I can help you guys out.
She's a great resource for our community, so I can't thank you enough for being here today. Thank you so much, Lyanna. I had a blast.
Me too.
Bye, everybody.